Terry, what are your expectations for this season?
Well, I expect to be a playoff team and expect to have success in the playoffs.
Next question is coming from Aaron Fentress with the Oregonian.
Coach Nurk talked yesterday about working himself into shape, said he's maybe 70% there. How do you sort of feel like that's going for him, and will that impact the amount of minutes you play him to start the season?
Yeah, I think it's obvious he's not in game shape yet. He's going to get there. I just gauge how the game is going, how he's playing. If he looks fatigued, I can't say that there's a set rotation for him right now. It's just kind of reading the game and the situations.
Are you disappointed that he's not in shape? Is it something he did wrong or just life?
I don't know. He was in Bosnia for a while before he came back here. He missed the first week of practice, so it's hard to get in basketball shape without playing basketball. I think that's for everybody, but he'll get there.
Thanks.
Coming back, another question from Dwight James.
Hang on a second. I got a pop up. There you go. Go ahead.
Actually, I didn't have one, Terry. For some reason, it showed my hand as being up still, and they just didn't lower it from the last time.
My apologies.
You can't come up with another one on just like that.
There's been too many of these days, Terry. Honestly, it's let's get us some games under our belt, huh?
All right, sounds good.
Next question is coming from Brooke Olzendam with Trailblazers TV.
Well, I must say, for those of you who were on the last time Brooke was on one of these Zoom calls, she didn't look like that.
I had to do a TV interview earlier. I would look the same, trust me. Anyways, we're talking about Nurk and his game shape. I know that obviously Rodney had said he wasn't 100% yet. How's he coming along in terms of game shape and just getting back to the old Rodney?
I think he's made good improvement. He's not back to where he was, but I think he's where he should be. And gaining confidence, being on the floor. His shot looks good. He's moving around, but I think this is the next step for him, and so I'm pleased with where he is.
And what have you seen from Utah so far? I know that you guys were focused on yourselves, but then you said obviously most recently your recent practices would be Utah focused.
Well, they're essentially the same team as they were last year. The one thing they've been doing in preseason is shooting a lot of threes. I think they got over 53 attempts last game they played against the Clippers. So Bogdanovich at 4 really spaces the floor. Mitchell's a great player. Conley runs the show. Gobert is the defensive presence. So their main guys are still there, and they're very similar to the way they've been the last year or two.
Thanks, Coach.
Any more questions for Coach? Back to Aaron Fentress with the Oregonian.
Coach, you guys start out with Utah, Houston, Lakers, Clippers, 2, Golden State. 1, do you even look that far ahead? 2, does something like that make you go, oh, Lord, or do you just get amped up to sort of really see where your team is in the first 6 games?
Well, I know our first 6 games. I don't know who we play after that road trip, but I know our first 6 games, and that's a tough road trip out of the gate. So we want to get off to a good start. We don't try and get ourselves, I'm not worried about the Lakers or Clippers right now, but I'm very aware that we play them early in the season.
Thanks.
Next question is coming from Jason Quick with The Athletic.
Hey, Coach, have you guys identified what the minutes restriction will be on with Rodney?
I don't know that there is one as of today. Obviously, we've been monitoring his minutes in preseason. Last game was the last game. I think he got up to 18. That was probably the max for that game. So there probably will be one, but I don't know what it is right now or how long that will last.
And will Nurk be on one?
No.
Okay.
Got a question coming from AJ McCord with Coin 6.
Hey, Coach. Sorry, I had to hop on here a little bit late, so if you answered this, feel free to roast me. But Dame talked about how there's just been a little bit of a shift in the defensive mindset between wanting to throw all these new things in right away, just sort of backing off of that, mixing in some new things with some old things. How did you make that decision, and how have you seen it play out in the last 4 days of practice before this season begins?
Well, I think actually we've had 3 days of practice, and it's been good. We reviewed a lot of the defensive things that we've done in the past, and everybody's comfortable with those. Integrating Derek and Robert into what we had done before. Ennis was very familiar with those things from 2 years ago. I think the main thing was the things we were stressing earlier. Obviously, we were more aggressive on pick and rolls and dribble handoffs, which emphasized more weak side help, which was one of the goals. So if I had one thing that we want to get better at was our weak side and help defense. And I think the work that we put in the first couple of weeks helped with that.
Thank you.
Great. We'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thanks, everybody.